the today's match's winner. So please a round of applause for Wing and Blanc. So congratulations on your victory. How are you feeling right now? Yeah, first of all, it was our first match of the summer season, and against Longzhu we won. So I'm really feeling good right now. How about you, Blanc? It's my debut today, and I was really nervous. But I had a good performance, so I'm quite satisfied right now. So you played really well with your Twisted Fate. But however, you could have been nervous, but you really played well today. So what made this possible? Yeah, I gave first blood to our opponent, but I was taking on a lot of CS, and we took down Israel and Echo in the first place, so I was kind of confident that we could win. From picks and bans, you guys are quite competitive for the jungle. And what do you think about Rek'Sai? And how did you play Rek'Sai in this game? To be honest, when I was practicing, if the opponent took our Rek'Sai, I was going to play Kindred. But there are a lot of Rek'Sais playing in the LCK and the LCS, so I practiced a lot of Rek'Sai. And with this ult, we can kind of like shake our opponent, so I thought Rek'Sai was going to be really good, and I thought Rek'Sai was a good champion to play. We're kind of trying to snipe down the Chaser, the former Jin Air player. Yeah, we believe Chaser is a really good player, and he does have a really good ganks. So when we're practicing, he's not really a good Graves player, so that's why we banned it, and that's how we did our picks and bans. So for Blanc, sorry about that. Oh, you received the first place in solo queue, and you practiced a lot. Do you have any kind of tips on becoming the first place in the solo queue? I say the tips are, playing a good champions like Azir. I played only Azir like repetitive over and over again, so I think that was the reason I was able to become a first place in the solo queue. After becoming the first place, is that really helped you in playing in LCK? Yeah, I became really confident after becoming the first place. I was kind of nervous playing against Coco, but because I'm the first place, I was quite confident. And Victor is really popular these days, but against Azir, you seemed very confident and played really well. How was this possible for you guys? Well, I practiced a lot in solo queues, and did a lot of lane phase, so I was quite confident after becoming the first place. Since I'm the first place, I can kind of beat everyone except for one person. We all know who that one person is. So in the first game, people say that you guys were quite competitive for the getting MVPs. Let's take a look at the first game. Very nice play when Victor didn't have a flash. So did you give a shot call, or was the other team members doing all the shot calls? Yeah, Victor actually went back home and came back to the lane. So we were kind of thinking that he should have been relaxed and just pushing the lane. So that's what we did, just engaged in. You performed well with your Brazilian smite. When you're doing a Baron fight, you really wanted to use your smite, but Pilot has actually taken down the Baron. What do you think about this? Yeah, this is the scene. I was kind of nervous because we told our teammates that not to hit the Baron and told them to engage in again, but I guess Pilot just did better than me and took down the Baron. Pilot was very strong at that point, so I guess that's the reason. Yeah, Pyro actually has a habit of just hitting Baron, like, even if we tell him not to do it.
It's not a good sign. Uh-oh.
So I guess you kind of trusted your team members to hit the Baron, even if you do not use the smite. Do you have any tips on outsmiting your opponent? I say it's kind of like mental fighting, kind of like trying to calculate who used which skill at the point and use the smite when it's possible. And when you guys used Maokai and Twisted Fate, you guys didn't have too much deal in the first phase of the game. What do you guys think about this? We used this composition when we were practicing, but it turned out well. So with Zyra, and it could have kind of like supported a more deal that we lacked with the Twisted Fate. So I guess a good performance in practice made us play this in the LCK. And even if we go to a long game, as we always do, Zyra support can kind of like fill in the deals that we lack. So Zyra was a good pick. A lot of people are curious about Trace's pick, like what kind of champion he's going to use. But he used a very normal pick, Maokai, a boring pick actually. Are you kind of like hiding any other champions up your sleeve? Yeah, well, Trace uses a lot of champions when he's practicing. But in this game, we needed a good tank as Maokai. So that's why we used it, and we don't really have any secret weapons up our sleeve, so not really right now. He could have used Swain, but I kind of like opposed him, saying Swain's not a good pick. So I think it's up to Trace. So any last words to share determination for this season? In the spring season, about the late part of the game, we were kind of bad. We were showing bad performances. So I say our goal at the first place is going to the finals and continue to show good performance unlike the spring season. Yes, that's about it. Fighting Jin Air. And for Blanc, it's my debut, but I really want to go to the finals. So I'll keep on practicing hard. Again, congratulations for Jin Air. So all the matches of the summer season is really exciting up until right now, and it's really hard to predict how it's going to turn out. And really expecting a lot for next week's SKT. And I guess that's it for the interview, and back to you guys for a wrap up of today's games.
All right, thanks for the translating, Kevin. And so there you have it. Some words from our MVPs on the Jin Air side of things in their really kind of dominating too over Longzhu Gaming. I'm a bit surprised to see them win in this way.
I totally agree with you. Decisive, aggressive. These are not usually things that we affiliate with Jin Air Greenwings, but they certainly showed it today.
Yeah.
Really dominance in the early game, picking early game focused compositions that would have been outscaled by Longzhu and executing them properly. Now, part of this is Longzhu looking very confused still. So we'll have to see if they can keep this up, but at least at the start. And that makes Ever versus Jin Air even cooler next week.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that one on Tuesday. But on Monday, first of all, Samsung versus Afrika Freaks, which should be interesting as well. I mean, Afrika Freaks looking good. Then we've got the rest of the week. We've got a lot of days of matches now. Rocks Tigers versus MVP on Wednesday. Also, Longzhu Gaming versus KT. Then on Thursday, SK Telecom returns to LCK with their match against CJ Entis. Coaches say they're not looking strong. They've got a pretty easy opponent to start things off with. We'll see how it goes. Then on Friday, ESC Ever versus Rocks Tigers, Samsung versus MVP. And both of those could be interesting depending on the results from earlier in the week. I'm excited to see MVP play again.
I'm excited to see Ever play those matches next week because now that we know Jin Air can be aggressive early, and we know Ever is a very aggressive team, seeing them versus both Jin Air and the Rocks Tigers should be really, really fun.
Yeah, and looking to see if Rocks Tigers can pick things up a little bit too. Then finally on Saturday, KT Rolster versus SK Telecom T1. The Telecom War returns, and then CJ Entis taking on the Afrika Freaks for our final match of the week. And depending again on how the earlier games go, SKT versus KT could be a pretty good one too. Yeah. It's nearly always a good matchup though.
It nearly always is, unless it's a final.
Unless it's final. That's true. If it's during the regular season or the playoffs, you're safe. If it's a final, you have to go back to 2013 to find a good series there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, it was a short day of LCK, but it was a good one. It was a 2-0, but I like